over time. You might look at this and say, well, it's the same, but it's not the same. It's still growing. If this number was compared to the base year, it would be a different number. See the difference? And the other thing you have to watch out is what order the columns are. Sometimes they put the most recent year to the left and pay close attention to what's going on up here. Because when you look at the different answers here that we talked about, it might be deceiving if you're saying, I don't see how this can be true. How can sales have been flat when look at, so you look at this, 0.5 to 0.5 to negative 0.5. Well, that is flat. Even though they're changing, it's still less than 1% difference between year to year to year. Okay? So pay close attention to that on the exam. I think there's one more. Yeah. Look at this one. Again, this is year 2 to 3, 3 to 4, 4 to 5. Another horizontal analysis. Well, what's the most current year? And see, this is an example here. See, on the other ones, we had the most current year was first. Here, the most current year is last. So I really want to encourage you to pay close attention. But notice this one is vertical analysis. Do you see the difference? Because it's common sized. See how I'm looking at my numbers within my numbers. Even though I've got multiple years, I'm doing vertical analysis. Okay? I thought this was pretty important when I was going through the practice exam. I know that tripped us up a little bit. So I wanted to touch on that again just to refresh you in your memory or in your minds. When you look at these questions, try to figure out, are we doing horizontal or vertical analysis, and what are my comparisons actually based on? Is it 1 year to a base year, multiple years, and which is the most current year? Okie dokes. Let's go back to where I was. Oops. Okay. Okay. So those 3 different ways of doing analysis: the vertical, the horizontal, and the ratio analysis. Each one's looking at different things. La-di-da. Come on. I did uncheck it? Oh, that's not very swell. Okay. Oh, I did uncheck it. That's why we have a moderator. Okay. There we go. Okay, so those are looking at the 3 different ways of doing our analysis. I verbally told you what vertical analysis uses: common size statements, looking at the relationship between items within. Trend analysis. Okay, trend analysis is always horizontal analysis, but horizontal analysis is not always trend analysis. Depends on how many years you're looking and if you're looking for trends or not. Ratio analysis. Again, ratio analysis, we're looking at comparing the results to usually a benchmark or an industry standard. And we've got 4 basic ratios: your profitability, efficiency, liquidity, and leverage. And there are some disadvantages, and you have to understand these disadvantages. And not just to memorize them, but to understand them. Financial ratios can be used to compare current financial results to prior years to figure out whether a company is prospering or declining. And they can also be used to compare to company standards using benchmarking. And although benchmarking is published, there is no concrete guidance for determining which ratios are most important, or even what the most important values are, what's too high or what's too low. It may not be prudent to oversimplify financial statement analysis by just looking at the ratios. And also, if there's no ratio consistency, in other words, if they're not calculating the ratios in the same way, it's meaningless or misleading. So those are some things you have to look at when you're looking at financial ratio analysis. Okay, I'm going to skip these